I can't stand people that play identity politics. I always say people that play identity politics, they're actually the most racist themselves because they see everything through the prism of race. Additionally, they are also extremely insecure because they're the ones that are not happy with the race that they have. So they project that insecurity out into the external world. Okay? So this video is about Imarn Ayton. I'm sure you know her because she has appeared in Piers Morgan Uncensored. And I just can't stand her because she's one of these race baiting race hustlers. And she just basically tries to get into fame and basically get reparations because she's black, and she believes that everyone should pay her reparations and everyone should always apologize to her because everyone's always racist. I am a minority background, yeah? I fall onto the black ethnic minority background. I'm Persian, Iranian, also a bit of Turkish, and also a bit of Pakistani, by the way, yeah? But I never felt that I was discriminated against or, I am any lesser than anyone. Okay, I'm extremely proud of who I am, and that's why I don't ask for reparations or I don't ask people to be nice to me. People are already nice to me, okay, because I don't have that internal insecurity. Okay, so people that always play identity politics are actually insecure, and they are the ones that are racist. So let's watch this video. Imarn Ayton, she appeared on GB News with Jacob Rees-Mogg, and then she, spoke all kinds of nonsense. So let's see the video together and we will react to it. There we go.
I think it's really important to just realise that this figure, so we've seen many different figures from 200 billion to...
17 trillion, I think is the highest I've seen.
18.8.
So you want to pay 18.8 or 200, whatever the figure is, in reparations to other countries that the United Kingdom actually helped, if you think about it. So we don't have enough money to pay our pensioners. We pay so much in tax, especially with the new Labour government tax hikes, and we want to pay reparations. Are we stupid?
Don't mind me correcting you, sir.
No, of course not.
18.8, that was from the Brattle Group report. So we have many different figures being thrown about as of late. And I really want people to realise that this figure, whether it be 200 million or billion to 18.8 billion, this is to do with slavery and colonialism.
Okay, so let's speak about colonialism and slavery. Every single country in the world has had slaves. The first ever slave trade was by the Egyptians. It was black people enslaving other black people. Okay? What happened with British colonialism, and I'm not trying to suggest by any means it was all positive, but Great Britain managed to colonize about 25% of the earth, from Africa to the Caribbean to India to all over, yeah? And they basically kick-started world trade. Some bad things happened, don't get me wrong. Yes, they stole a lot of money from those countries, but that is a part of history. Every single empire has done that. The Dutch have done that, the French have done that, the Romans have done that, the Persian Empire, where I come from, have done that. And also, the Arabs, the caliphates have done that. So am I entitled to reparations from the Arabs and the caliphates because they attacked my country 1,400 years ago? Or is the British entitled to reparations from the Romans or from the Dutch because they attacked your country thousands of years ago? This whole thing is ridiculous because at how far are we willing to go back? Okay, how far are we willing to go back? Because every country at one point was colonized by another.
I just want to make clear that this country, in terms of colonialism, they transported 3.3 Africans across the...
You mean 3.3 million? Not 3.3. She can't even speak.
Atlantic. And then, of course, they transitioned. I said this on Jeremy Vine's show. They transitioned from the slavery in terms of the physical and psychological violence to the political, economical and cultural domination of people, which is colonialism. And they, the British rather, colonized 22 countries in Africa over 173 years. They also colonized 15 or over 15 countries in the Caribbean. So when we think about these figures that have been thrown about...
Yeah, but didn't the United Kingdom also help these countries? didn't they also civilize these countries in some ways? I know that's quite offensive things to say, but they actually took science to these countries. They built schools in these countries. They taught them about trade and what trade is and how they can sell their own products worldwide.
As of late, it's easy to swear it. It's quite understandable when you amalgamate all of the information from slavery to colonialism.
But shouldn't they actually be paying us? Because some of these Caribbean countries are very prosperous. They've done extremely well. And they did well because the British gave them the rule of law and democracy and capitalism. And this has been incredibly successful. The British Empire was an amazing force for good, for civilization and for raising people's standards of living. So why should we have to pay for doing that? Surely we should be paid.
I think that's a very bold question to ask a strong black woman on your channel.
Strong black woman? Well, I don't know why she has to put that. You're just a person, you're an individual. Why do you have to label yourself as a strong black woman?
Jacob, and I'll actually pose a question to you. Would you say that about Jews? So I'll just give the context. First and foremost, one could easily argue that the Jewish community, the Israeli Jews, benefited from the Holocaust and Hitler. Allow me to finish. Allow me to finish. Let me bring it home, Jacob. Let me bring it home. They benefited from Holocaust and Hitler due to the fact that they were given the state of Israel. Their life expectancy improved, and last but not least, their GDP improved, Israel's GDP improved as a result of Germany giving reparations in 1952. So would you say on national TV about the Jews that they should be happy and should be thanking Hitler and the Holocaust, Amy and David, for what they have gone through because they have benefited in terms of money?
Why is she so theatrical? She's like as if she's putting on an act. She's in theatre. Why does she speak that? I just can't stand this woman. If you haven't seen her, go and watch her stuff on Piers Morgan, and I think she appeared on other channels like Talk TV and GB News, obviously. So, and she's got this undertone of, I am so oppressed. Pay me, please, But if she cares so much about slavery and colonialism, go and save the slaves in southern Sudan, in Somalia. There are more slaves now than there was at the height of the transatlantic slave trade. So these people that talk so much about racism, we don't have a racism problem in this country. Go and save the slaves in Africa, because there are millions of them, and you're sat in your nice cozy living room in London, complaining about reparation when you're not the one paying the price for it at this moment in time. Go and save the slaves in Africa.
Argue that Amy and David, Jacob wouldn't say this about Jews, but he's saying it about black people. So let me know what you're saying here, Jacob.
About the whole history.
Oh, so what are you implying? That Jacob Rees-Mogg is a racist because he thinks we shouldn't pay reparations?
History of the British colonies, which was stunningly successful. What you've said about the Holocaust is just nonsense.
Amy's ignored that, hasn't he?
No, I'm answering it. Because the British, in the Balfour Declaration, said there should be a homeland for the Jewish people before the Holocaust. That wasn't a consequence of the Holocaust. It was British policy beforehand. Okay, so what you're saying is simply historically wrong.
No.
Okay, so this thing about whole Palestine and how the Jews got reparations, it was called the British Mandate for Palestine. And before that, it was the Ottoman Empire that controlled that piece of land. So it's funny to me because there was never actually a Palestine. So these people, when they say, oh, we want Palestinian independence, people, the Jews should live. There was never actually a state of Palestine. It was a village called Palestine, thousands of years ago. 3,500 years ago, it was the Jews. Then the Arabs conquered the land, and basically it was like a village called Palestine. Then the Ottomans come and take over, then the British, and then after the British, because it was called the British Mandate for Palestine, after in 1947, after World War II, they were like, okay, you know what? This is the ancestral homeland of the Jews, and we're going to give it back to them. So this, I just want to interject with this, because this idea that free Palestine, what Palestine? When was Palestine ever a state in history? Answer that question.
Let's
go back to slavery and the topic under discussion. Let's go back to what we're talking about.
You want me to ignore your point? I want to address the point that you just made.
And it wasn't just to do with the Balfour
Declaration. Let me just be clear. Their life expectancy, Jewish people's life expectancy,
was ruined because they were all killed.
It improved due to the fact they were given the state of Israel.
I'm afraid your argument is unbelievable.
And Israel was given reparations in 1952, and their country improved and thrived as a result. fault. So even if you want to ignore the fact that they were given a state of Israel, we have to acknowledge the fact that Jewish people's life improved and the country improved as a result in terms of reparations.
That Israel was the Palestine mandate and was run by the British. So if it's a success of Britain, not anything to do with the horrors of Germany. But it's
okay, so you get the gist of the story. She doesn't understand. Just look at her face. And yeah, so let me know what you think in the comments. I hate race hustlers. I hate people that play identity politics. If we're going to pay reparations, then every single country across the world has to pay reparation for something that they've done thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago. People that play identity politics are actually the most racist themselves. And actually, it comes from a deep insecurity, and it's a projection of that insecurity because they are the ones that are not truly happy with themselves. Thank you for watching this video.
Have you got what it takes to be a reasoned presenter? Well, send us a short clip of yourself to join@reasoned.uk and we might be seeing you on this very channel very soon indeed.